Hey guys, what's up, and welcome back to a new review where today we find ourselves inside the latest 911, the 992. And as you can hear from the exhaust note, we already find ourselves on some twisty roads here today. And I already tried out sport mode a bit just to get a taste of what the new 911 is all about. And the first impression, this car is really good, and just overall impression, it's just such a delicate car. And today's video is all about finding out how good the new 911 is. So let's do this. So let's get into normal mode for a second, just so that you can hear me a bit better. We find ourselves inside the new 911 Carrera 4S. So this is the four-wheel drive version. You can also have the rear-wheel drive version. And this is also the sportier version that comes with 450 horsepower. We have a 3-liter flat 6 turbocharged, and that produces about 530 Newton meters of torque. The weight with me inside the car is about 1700 kilograms. As a classic 911, the engine sits in the rear, and in general the car has a really low point of weight. So when you drive in the car, you have a really nice seating position, is what I noticed. The seats are also super comfortable with the sport seats, but you sit super low on the streets, and when driving you see both of the front wheel arches coming up, which is such a cool feeling when driving this car. Now the new 911 is wider than the previous 991. It's also longer, and you do feel that it's quite wide when driving on these twisty roads here, but it's still all doable. Then to the gearbox, I'm currently driving with the paddle shifters here, as we do have an 8-speed automatic gearbox, and the gearbox is sensational. We're just driving in normal mode now, and the shifting times are just so quick. And not sure if you're able to hear it, but the turbo spools that comes from your rear of these turbos is just cool. And as you can see on my face already, I've always been kind of a Porsche guy, and I've always just loved Porsches in general. And I'm really thankful that I got the opportunity to film this car for you today. So big thanks to Porsche Zurich for making this possible. I'll put the link in the description so you can check out what cars they currently have available. Now while we're cruising on these slower parts here, I think I have time to look around what's around me on the interior of the new 911. So first of all, you have the new big screen in the center, which is all digital now. Porsche has also changed the center console. It's really minimalized now, but I do like that a lot. And you also notice that in front of you, your center displays here, we have a mix between analog display and digital displays on the side. One thing I did notice though is that we have 5 displays here, but when you have your view, you can only always see 3 of the 5 screens. So that is a bit interesting. So if you want to see the screen all the way to your left, you kind of always have to look on the left side of the steering wheel, which is quite interesting, but I do like the layout and how it looks. Now one thing, and that is a thing you will notice on every Porsche, is just how this car is built and manufactured. You know, the quality, the finish, and just how everything feels in this car. It's just such high qualities. Even the paddle shifters here, just everything feels so well done, and that's why I really love these cars. Now another thing that comes with the involvement of technology are sensors. So Porsche now uses sensors inside the front wheel arches that basically record and listen to the sound, and if they record the sound of rain, the car automatically hits to wet mode, which is quite interesting and quite cool. So we have wet mode, we have normal, we have sport, sport plus, and you can then also configure your individual settings. Now driving around, I did notice one thing, and that is that you have to control most of your things over your center screen, except this specific car has this quick drive button that you can press, and then as you can hear, the car immediately heads into sport mode, so that you have 20 seconds in which the car is in sport mode. Let's say if you want to overtake someone with a bit of a torque. We have a quick tunnel here. So now I think it's time to head into sport mode. So let's just press the button. As you can just tell, the car already lowers the gear. The exhaust gets much louder, instantly much louder. You also hear a few bumps and crackles here and there, which is quite, actually quite a few crackles. Let's head into second and give it a first pull. So actually super quick, but also really stable acceleration. Quick tunnel here, quite nice. I do love it actually. Alright, it's now time to find out how much fun the new 911 is on some twisty roads in sport mode. And for that, we are already in sport, but I want to try out sport plus. And now the car definitely goes into all the sporty settings. We have the suspension on sport now, exhaust on sport. We can press this button and then have the spoiler coming up in the rear, which is also cool. And now this car comes to life, and it's all about what the new 911 is. Just a rebel in corners. Downshift's really nice. And also the shifting times are now so insanely quick in Sport Plus. Now the sound is really nice of the car. We unfortunately have some of the sound coming out of the speakers, as most of the car manufacturers do these days, but that's just due to EU regulations, and that's just something we have to live with. But I don't mind at all. We're in second gear now, and what? How quick are these gear shifts? The engine response of this car is just phenomenal. Alright, now in second gear. The shifting times are absurdly quick. And also the sound is just so nice. Now the roads are a bit wet today, but still the car has so much grip because it sits so low, and these downshifts. And I mean, we always have to consider that we're sitting in a car that is bought by thousands and thousands of people that are just gonna daily drive this. And this is not even a turbo, a 911 turbo. This is just a standard Carrera 4S. And it already has a performance. Wow. Seriously, I can't stop smiling with an exhaust like this. Second gear again. Really such a beautiful car. And also when you're in sport, you have your main rev counter on a big analog dial in front of you, which is just so cool to see the car revving. That goes up to 7,000 RPMs. Listen to this. What a good sounding straight six this is. Wow. right, we're now back cruising in a town, and this was it for the driving facets of the new 911. It's just an electrifying car. It's beautiful, it's nice, it has a great sound, and it's really, really good on twisty roads. But we're gonna stop now, and I'm gonna tell you a bit more about the interior and some of the exterior details of the new 911. Just one more time, just one more time. Now, finding ourselves inside the new 911, first to enter the car, the door handle pops out before you grab it, which is something really cool that Porsche have included. Then, as I've already mentioned during my drive, we have the dials in analog and digital. The steering wheel is really nice. You only have a few buttons on the steering wheel, not too many here anymore. We then have the instant drive button that hits you to sport here, and then the center console, which is quite minimalized. We only have a few buttons for the traction control, for the exhaust, for the suspension. And we then have the classic sport watch of Porsche here in the car. This is an additional feature, so this is an option, doesn't come standard. So Porsche has given the interior of the 911 really a character with the new update here, with this special style of the dashboard here, which I really like. The sport seats are also super comfortable, and the 911 is a 4-seater. Well, you do have 2 additional seats in the rear, but they're really only for super small kids or just some more luggage space, because the boot in the front isn't really that big at all. Then the ignition as standard is on the left side for Porsche, and then everything comes to life. You can adjust your digital screens here. You can even put your map on one of the sides of your main dashboard, which is really cool. And then on the other side you can configure other things. Then the main screen here is all digital, and it's super quick. It's not lagging at all, which I really like. You can do many different things and settings, such as lightings, exhaust, spoiler, suspension, everything is all changeable over this digital screen. But that is just to give you a quick impression of what the interior of the new 911 is like. Alright guys, so that is basically it for today's review of the 911 992, the latest 911 and the new 911 on the market. In my opinion, a beautiful, beautiful car. And it is just electrifying. You just want to keep on driving, and this is exactly what I'm gonna do today. But thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave a like or a comment. Let me know what you think of the 992, and I'll see you next time.